Welcome back, everyone. Today is April 13th. I am Jerry Hall, and here are my thoughts from Costa Rica. Last night, I was engaged in a live stream chat with a new friend, a current on the chain YouTube channel contributor, Nick Black. And he tells me, put down your XRP pom-poms. XRP isn't as valuable as you think that it is. And although I deeply respect Nick, if you're listening, I deeply respect you. However, I will admit I have a bias. Now, I believe that bias is formed not from a place of hopes and dreams and wishes, but that bias is grounded in fact. Is it crazy to trust somebody in the future who has developed a track record with you of doing what they say they're going to do? Example, if your friend says, I will mow your lawn every Saturday at 7 o'clock, and you say, no, that's too early. I like to sleep in on Saturdays. Can you make it 9 o'clock? And they agree. And then for 2 months, that person has come over every Saturday at 9 o'clock and started mowing your lawn. Now, are you just full of hopium to believe that they're going to show up next Saturday in the future and mow your lawn at 9 o'clock when you've got a 2-month track record of them showing up on time and doing what they say they're going to do? Is that craziness to believe that they will continue to do what they say they're going to do? I don't know. I don't believe so. Ripple has executed on their plan. The things that they have announced publicly have materialized. I'm going to continue to trust them. They have earned it with me. That doesn't mean you have to. That doesn't mean Nick has to. But it's what I'm doing. I continue to look at measurables, things that I can quantify. Well, ODL, on-demand liquidity volume, is one of those metrics. This is a cool little site somebody put together. This is utilityscan.com. I dig it. I love these charts that Galgatron puts out, color-coded with a vertical quantity volume, as well as a horizontal chronological time frame, color-coded for different payment sizes, i.e. micro payments, medium-sized payments, large payments, payments that look to be from businesses. When you're talking about payments between 5,000 and 50,000, that would be like Dole Pineapple moving dollars into Nicaraguan pesos to buy pineapples and pay their workers and things of that nature. Anyway, I don't want to digress too much into that. There's a lot being said about for XRP to really get moving, that we need more retail adoption, that we need regulations, that we need custody. Well, I've gone over in the last couple of days, I've showed you these incredible custody solutions that are coming online, providing security and peace of mind to large pools of investors, whether they be pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, etc. We see every day some new payments platform coming online, some exchange offering a Visa or MasterCard debit card where it converts your crypto into your national currency. more and more of those being announced that handles retail spending of the crypto. Let's talk about regulations. Now, this is an extreme point I want to illustrate, but it is real. This really happened. So I want to draw your attention to a conversation in a congressional hearing between Admiral Robert Willard of the U.S. Navy and Congressman Hank Johnson, Democrat from Georgia. This clip starts off with Admiral Robert Willard responding to Congressman Johnson. It's what Johnson does after that is important. So pay attention, listen to this. You cannot make this shit up.
I have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
Can you believe that? The days of me believing that just because somebody is successful means that they are intelligent, educated, and wise are no longer. That to me blew my mind. So if it is true that our success in gaining value, and it doesn't matter if it's XRP or any other crypto project, is in the hands of politicians, we're in friggin' trouble. Lucky for us, XRP investors, our hand and our fate is not tied to what a congressional body will or will not do. There are things that politicians, there are laws and bills that can get passed that will help move things along faster. But are we dependent on it? I don't believe so, and I want to illustrate why. There are publicly traded companies using the digital asset XRP in a way where they take their clients' currency, go to an exchange like Bitstamp, CoinsPH, Bitso, turn it into XRP, shoot it where it needs to go, and there's a correspondent body on the other side of that transaction doing the same, taking the XRP, turning it into the national currency, getting it to the recipient's bank. Is being done in seconds. It's being done with reliability in the fact that you know what you're going to pay for the transaction before you press send. Fast, safe, secure, and at a dramatic savings to the legacy system. That's a value proposition in business. Capital flows to value. Over time, that is a monicum that has been held true. I don't see any reason why it would not continue to do so, especially in times where our capital markets are overvalued. You're hard pressed to find anybody that will tell you that this stock or that stock or this bond isn't overpriced. It's consensus. You will always see capital over time flow to value. How do you create value? Market makers. Now, there's all kinds of market makers. There are individuals, there are groups, and there are corporations. For instance, Bitso is a market maker. They're making a market for US dollars coming in, converting to Mexican peso, and getting that Mexican peso to a recipient bank. It's happening right now. It's live. However, for us to truly get cruising, we need more, right? We need more corridors. Now, interesting point as you look at this particular corridor, which happens to be our strongest corridor in XRP markets right now, is the US dollar to the Mexican peso. You take this quick World Bank document talking about record high remittances set globally. All of the forward-looking indicators show remittance payments increasing. Now, if remittance payments are going to continue to remain stable and or increase, that bodes well for the use case of XRP. It bodes well for RippleNet and its partners. But just to put in perspective, when you look at the top countries as it pertains to remittance recipients, you've got India leading the way. Now, I happen to know, and any of you that follow Ripple closely happen to know, that Ripple's in India. We got some incredible people over in that region of the world. You've got an office started. You've got publicly announced banking entities either trialing proof of concept or actually in a actual production contract, or one way or the other. That market, again, capital will flow to value. China, well, we know Ripple opened an office in China. Is it online today? No. Is it speculative that it'll come online? Yes. Okay. But we know they're making investments there. Mexico, the third largest remittance flow in the world, strong foothold. Philippines is the fourth, strong foothold. Egypt, I'm not that clear about. But the point is, market makers are going to come online. They're already existing, more will come. And it's really interesting to me that these businesses that sprung up through basically a model of creating an exchange for one person to use value to attain a digital asset for the purposes of either holding or trading for another digital asset, or capitalizing on valuation and trading back into their currency. These crypto exchanges that sprung up all over the place. One of the things that I find interesting is this business that they are starting to adopt, Bitso being the first, to my knowledge, to really get into this space, Bitso, where their remittance or payments part of their business is now the largest segment of their business. So obviously, when money is pouring into the crypto space. The exchanges make a lot of money on the exchange of fiat to crypto or even crypto to crypto. That's how they make their money. But some of them have adopted new business verticals within their existing business, and that is becoming a market maker for the purposes of either remittance, SME flows from one national currency to another, through the use of a neutral bridge asset, i.e. XRP. I could go on and on and on, but why listen to me when you can get it directly from the CEO of Bitso's mouth himself? Now I'm going to play just a couple of minutes of a clip between Daniel Vogel and Ryan Selkis from Masari. Ryan can be found on Twitter at 2BitIdiot. Ryan was an absolute Ripple hater, XRP protagonist. No, antagonist. I got that mixed up. I apologize. But he sat down and did an interview with Daniel, who he met years and years ago when he was with the digital currency group, Barry Silbert's outfit, and they were doing all their due diligence to make an investment into Bitso. But listen to this exchange. Listen to Daniel describe the shift in the business model.
The only recession-resistant company in the entire.
No, but like, so for example, if you're a customer of Coinbase and you have dollars in your Coinbase account, you can't send those dollars to like a third party, right? Like you basically withdraw that to your bank account and then you send that money using your bank to somebody else. With the partnerships that we've built and the regulatory strategy that we followed as a group, we actually can make payments to third parties. So someone who receives payment in crypto, for example, a freelancer that receives a payment in crypto on their Bitso account and turns into pesos, can basically then use that to pay the rent. They can use that to pay their internet, pay that utilities, pay a friend, etc. on the platform. And the number of payments have grown. And so this has been a very big focus for us, especially in the last year and a half, is how do we actually build a business that is not completely susceptible to these huge crypto weather, right? Where basically when crypto is doing really, really well, you're doing really, really well, but if crypto is doing bad in terms of price, you're doing really poorly. And you actually track the volume of Bitso, like the swings in volume of Bitso over the last, let's say 24 months since we had the peaks in January of 2018. Our volume went down for sure, but especially in the last 7 months, as exchanges worldwide were losing volume, or many exchanges worldwide were losing volume, we were actually increasing our volume. And this is because we've spent a long time finally building a remittance solution, which you alluded to in the introduction. But for us, this is very important because it goes back to crypto as a utility. It goes back to a business model where you don't necessarily need to depend on crypto prices increasing in order for your business to do very well. It's taking us a really, really, really long time. And we talked about remittances when you were looking at this opportunity when you were at BCG. And it took us basically, half a decade to get to a place where we are finally capitalizing on the huge cross-border flow that exists between the US and Mexico, which is about $33 billion, between $30 and $36 billion a year flows between the US and Mexico. And we're finally at a place where we're starting to, we've built a product, we built a product alongside with Ripple, and we're seeing significant amount of traction. And we believe that this is just the beginning of something, right? This is the beginning of something a lot more exciting and interesting. But for us as a business, it's been great because you don't depend on that crypto weather and the levers that you have, as an organization are things that you can actually control, as opposed to one of the most frustrating things about building an exchange is that you don't have those levers, right? If the crypto price starts going.
The point I wanted to illustrate, and I think Daniel articulated it very, very well. The last 2 years has not been great for obviously holders, right? Hoping to see capital appreciation in their investments in those digital assets, but also the exchanges and businesses dealing in that business. Volumes were down across the board compared to the September 2017 to January 2000 March levels. Bitso will not be the last exchange that not only is striving to gain market share from a digital asset trading platform perspective, but a market maker perspective. Making a market for remittances, for payment flows, whether it be small to medium enterprises or even large banks. It's happening. My bias is not based on some white paper or some pre-existing political slant that I had before I got into this space. Yes, I have a bias towards XRP, but it's not based in some fairy tale land. I didn't want to make this video all about a rebuttal to an accusation that was made last night towards me. But I just felt the importance to substantiate, based in fact, based in real, concrete, real world measurables, why I'm so friggin' bullish about XRP and RippleNet. It is growing. The measurables are there. Again, it's not when will this market realize the value that's here. The market realizes there's value. When will it approach levels where I can start to recuperate some investment and actually make an income? I don't know. But I do know I made the right choice. I'm in the right place. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe I was too early. Okay, I can live with that. But day over day over day, affirmations roll in that tell me I'm in the right spot. And if you're watching this video, you're in the right spot also. So hang tight, enjoy the ride, learn as much as you can along the way. This is an exciting process to go through. That's enough from me, folks. I want to thank you for tuning in. And until next time, Pura Vida.